Bonjour! Hope you're okay. This is Surviving One Day at a Time with Sam and Bunny. In the video of today, we're going to talk about one of the most amazing and wonderful countries in the world. Yeah, you're right. Let's talk about the beautiful France. We all know that France is so famous, and everyone in the world wants to visit it, either because of its famous reputation of being the country of love, or because there we can find one of the 7 wonders of the world, the Eiffel Tower. I guess that if you are here watching this video, it's because you are a true France lover, right? And when we talk about France, I'm pretty sure the first thing you have in mind is you living an unforgettable and marvelous day in France. But are you conscious that if you want to go to France, you're going to go to another country where there's another culture? And as we know, each culture has its own rules of etiquette. This means, of course, you're gonna have to follow them if you don't want to be hated by French. That's why, in the video of today, we're not going to talk about the most common things we're gonna find in France. In fact, we want to help you to survive to the rules of etiquette in France, understanding them, especially the weirdest ones. So, don't go to see any another video. Please stay and listen all the things you should know before going to France, of course, if you want to survive. Well, the first point is, please don't mess with the menu. In general, in some places in the world, it's acceptable not to order an ingredient and change it for another one. Nonetheless, this is a big no-no in France. Obviously, unless you are allergic to. In that case, they don't see it as a rude action.
Surely, when you go to a meeting with friends or to a party, it's normal or usual that they serve you your plate and you eat without any problem, and you see it very common. But for the French, it is not. In France, it is considered rude that at a party meeting, start eating before your host. So, when you're invited to a meeting in Paris, no matter how hungry you are or how hungry you are to try the dish, please be patient and wait for the host to start.
If you're speaking English, take it slow. In short, put yourself in place of French. Remember, most French people learn British English in school and don't know typical American expressions. If you approach them and begin to speak quickly in French, of course, they will be confused. Their English may seem incredible compared to your French, but they may not understand your accent or your way of saying things. So, my recommendation is to speak slowly and simply, unless you want to take the opportunity to practice your best British impressions.
Have you ever been somewhere or walking in the street and suddenly a stranger greets you with an impressive naturalness? And I bet it makes you strange. But hey, if you want to live in France, you will have to get used to this. Since for them, it is quite normal to greet each other kindly among strangers. So, if a Frenchman greets you, you're calm. Just answer him.
The next point is, for anything in the world, order a box. If you order a bag or box for the leftovers, expect eyebrows to go up. Most restaurants in France are all about quality over quantity, so in their opinions, portions are sufficient. If you want to order a box, do it only if you see servers offering them to other customers. It's worth mentioning that the portions they serve are much smaller than those served in other countries. So I am more than sure that if you don't live in Europe, you will stay hungry instead of leaving food.
I bet you have the habit that every time you go to a meeting with friends, you bring something that serves as a good snack. Well, in France, you can perfectly do the same thing. It's more, it's very well seen to arrive with your hands full. So, it does not matter if you are in your house or in Paris. Don't leave that costume. It has happened to you that you date someone and that they are 10 or 15 minutes late? And surely you have marked them as unpunctual. Well, in Paris, it is allowed to arrive 15 minutes after the agreed time, but be careful not to abuse that rule. Use it only in formal situations.
And the last thing you have to know, but not for that less important, is don't attempt small talk with a French person. In France, comfortable silence is much better than nonsensical talk. This may seem uncomfortable for foreigners who speak little because they are only private and formal with people who don't know. But in France, things are totally different. So try to have a good conversation or a good silence. You decide it. However, for God's sake, don't ask someone you just met questions about their personal life. You may think you're having a polite conversation, but French people don't see it that way. They feel like you are getting too personal too soon, and that's rude to them. That's why if you ask them something like that, immediately they will shut up. It's better to talk about current events, sports, arts, or even food, I don't know, any other thing, but not personal life. Don't forget that asking about it is totally forbidden in France for a person you just met. Well, this is all from us. I hope the information provided will be of great use to you, and please, if you want to have a pleasant stay in France, follow all our recommendations. This is Surviving One Day at a Time with Sam and Bunny. See you until next time!